it's time to do another speed reviews video. I've got 43 like individual type products, some just in various shades. You guys know the drill. Some of these are new and some of these are just new to me. So I did do a count, and as long as my count is correct, there's about 19 new or newish products that I have to cover, and the rest of it is just new to me products that I like to test. Some of the ones that come in individual shades, I didn't do like an individual try on with it, but like if it was a blush or something, I did do all of the shades. So let's get into it, you guys. I start off always with the eye product category. So the first things that I want to talk about are these from Moira, and I bought all 6 shades, all 6 of them. Now, when Moira comes out with a new launch, usually I pick up every single shade if it's pretty affordable, because generally I really like their stuff. Now, recently I have been on the fence about buying all of their products when they first release, or every single shade in a launch where like 6 come, because some of the things have just kind of been duds for me. Now, these are called their Icy Glow Jelly Sticks. And I do swatch all of these, but the only one that I'm putting on my eyes is the one in the shade Peach Sour. All of these are pretty mellow bases. They don't have a strong color. They're mostly like a color of sparkle. When I initially did this video, I tried them all as like cheek products and highlighter products. They're supposed to be multi-use, but ultimately I found that they're just best for the eyes because they're mostly a wash of sparkle. Now, some of them have a deeper base. Like I will say the one that is like the most purple in the shade Gummy Grape has a decent base when it gets to the eyes. I have worn every single one of these on the eyes, even in a couple of videos recently. And I can say that I think that they're all different enough that I don't hate that I got them. It's just that the shape of them doesn't make them super easy to apply on the eye. They're bigger than the shape of your eye. I feel like a lot of companies are coming out with eyeshadow sticks that are like this, that are cooling when they go on, that they have a lot of sparkle to them. These ones just don't have the base that I found that like the Tower 28 Go-Go stick has, even though that one also has sparkle. And again, it's just not a super easy application because these are really big. I wish that these had come out from Moira like this, and even without the base would have been fine if they had been a smaller stick and maybe like more tailored to an eye product, as opposed to like this could be a multi-use product, because glitters like this I am not throwing all over my body. I don't like these on the cheeks because they lack base and it's just all glitter, and I don't think that they work very well as a highlighter. So I will be using them for the eyes and the eyes only. I don't think they're bad, and for $8 I was having a lot of fun with them. I was usually doing one and then throwing a liner on, and that was really fun. There were a couple of times where I'd throw on like a colorful liner and people would say like, oh my gosh, your eyes, they look so good, they're feminine. Some lady at the nail place said to me like, I should do more feminine eye looks like that, etc. So I do think that they're fun, and each one of them has like a different color sparkle, so you can kind of tailor it to like whatever you're looking for that day, you know? The blue is the blue sparkle, that sort of thing. Again, not the greatest shape for your eyes, not bad. They're cooling. They do last all day. The one benefit to these is that when you want to use something sparkly, these don't have any fallout. You know, they're sticky, like when they go on, sort of. So they stay all day. They do dry down though, so they're not like transferring. My eyeshadow doesn't crease if I just powder my eyes. They're a decent formula. It's just only for the eyes, and I wish that they were smaller. You can pick them up on a brush. It's just not as impactful as like using this product and then swiping it straight to the eyes. Anyway, they're good. They're gonna go in my eyeshadow drawer. Do I think you should run out and get them? I don't know. You know, there's so many eyeshadow sticks like this one from Tower 28 on the market right now that I'd like to try other ones. The Tower 28 is the one I'm wearing on my eyes right now, but like I'd like to try other ones like this. But honestly, I would like to see how like the base compares to something like this, because these are very affordable and there's like a lot of product in this, as opposed to the Tower 28 cooling, what are these called? Go-Go cooling shimmer sticks, and this one is in whiskey. These are $20. And while I think you get a decent amount of product, it's still not the same amount. You obviously will get more with the Moira because it's bigger. I mean, at least I think that there's more product than these. Now, the Tower 28 one is absolutely beautiful. It also very similar formula. No fallout, dries down, sticks, doesn't crease. You get a good amount of sparkle. The difference is there's just a really strong base with this one. Like these were intended to be swipe one and done single eyeshadows. And for that reason, you know, it just works a little bit better to apply. I won't say that I get like a one swipe and I'm done kind of application with this. Like I'm fooling around with my eyeshadow for a while. I'll usually bring in a brush to kind of brush out the edges a little bit, and sometimes it dries too fast on me that it makes it a little bit difficult. I will kind of like blend in some of the edges like with my finger too. Now, the one difference between the Tower 28 Go-Go Stick is that this starts to crumble, and these ones, these are like jelly. If I'm like using it too hard on my eye, will start to kind of crumble, you know, on the desk. So I think you kind of have to be a little bit careful with these. I would still prefer the Tower 28's base with the sparkle than going Moira, you know? So that's my take on those. Let's move on to some eyeliners. So I got this Illuminati multi-chrome liner from Ipsy, and I don't know what shade this is in. I'm so sorry, that's ridiculous. Now I don't know where Illuminati sells, but I do like multi-chrome liners, and so usually when I see ones that are pretty affordable, now they do have affordable ones at Moira and ColourPop, my point is I'll usually pick them up. This one I really didn't like the formula or the shade, to be honest. I mean, even though it was like $1, I think that the Moira and the ColourPop are the way to go. It's creamy, it just doesn't stay super long the way that the ColourPop ones, they dry down. And then the flip on this wasn't super intense. I think it was supposed to be like a purple to green, and I mostly saw the purple. And because it had such like a strong undertone, it kind of came out gray. I like that it was a creamy formula to put on, but then again, too creamy. It just didn't dry down. So this was a no for me. Again, I don't know anything about Illuminati. I don't know where you would get that other than Ipsy. I just, you know, no. The next one that I tried, I got in an advent calendar from Rare Beauty. It's the Perfect Strokes Longwear Gel Eyeliner in True Black. You know, I just thought, oh cool, a brand I know. But then I put this on and I was like, whoa, this is no budge. This is long wear, this is waterproof, this is a badass liner. It's terrible for smoking out. I wouldn't try and do that, but if you wanted to like put this on like I did and then line it with a black eyeshadow, then I think it's great. Otherwise, this is a true waterline eyeliner. This does not move. This is fabulous. I have a bunch of blacks that are non-budge long wear waterproof. This is my favorite one. This is my absolute favorite one. I've been using the Sephora one on repeat for years. The ColourPop one is also very good. This is the best no budge, super opaque, very true black. Like it's just a very, very rich color, and it's very creamy, and it dries like almost dead stilly. So again, no budging is really like good with this. It's just a true waterline, or again, if you wanted to do something like this on your lash line and then kind of smoke it out with a shadow, then I think it's great. This is fabulous. The last eyeliner product is from Sheeta Makeup. I got this on Amazon. You guys, I must have seen like a short somewhere. This is kind of one of those things where you're supposed to like close your eye and then go like this. And it's supposed to like all in one make your waterline shadow really good and fast and easy application. I don't find that it's easy or super great either. It's a powder, so you're dipping it into a powder. It's like a powder dip. But I can never put this in my waterline and then close my eye and drag it to the point where I feel comfortable. That just scares the crap out of me. So it's just not something that's like super useful for me personally in how I apply makeup. But also it's a powder too. I don't think it lasts as long as like something like a Rare Beauty. I would just so much rather reach for a Rare Beauty gel eyeliner that's long wear for the waterline than something like this. I'm gonna end up decluttering it. This year I have tried so many mascaras. For me, honestly, it's been like the year of mascaras. There has been a lot of new releases, but then some that I've just decided to try that I have fallen in love with. Some of my favorite mascaras I've ever tried came from 2025. So let's talk about the new releases first and then go into the two that aren't, but that I love more. So I tried this Kosas Soul Gazer mascara. This is in the shade Hypnotize. I don't know if it comes in more than one shade, but this is just the black shade. It's an hourglass shaped wand with the plastic molded bristles, typically a wand style that I would really like. It's a fairly wet formula, so it's easy to build. There's no flaking, there's no smudging with this. It gives you a very butterfly effect, very wispy lash. It makes them so freaking long that I think a lot of people will really enjoy this mascara. This one just happens to be the mini. If a mini comes out, I typically will get that first when testing a mascara, but sometimes you get more product on the full size. So this is my take on a mini, if that like makes any difference to you. I think that the very flutteriness and the super long length, I think will be appealing to a lot of people. So I think this is a really good mascara for that reason. For me personally, I like an extreme lash. I like when it thickens my lashes because my hair is so fine and so thin. And And there's no exception to my eyelashes either. So this isn't a preferred formula, but maybe something you could use if you wanted to put this on first and then go in with like a volumizing mascara. Like if you had a similar preference to me. I think it's nice and I won't declutter it because I think that really wispy, really long length that it gives is slightly unique. It's like one of my most lengthening mascaras in my whole collection. It's just not pigmented enough. Buildable, but it still doesn't get as dark as I like. All right, the next new release is from YSL. This was the mini of the Lash Clash mascara. The Lash Clash has been out for a while. It's in blue, it's in black. I think it's in a couple of different shades, but the mini just launched this year. So I decided to try it. Now this has your very faux haired bristled wands, which usually isn't my favorite because I usually make a mess with them. They're one, too big, and two, they're just like too wispy. But I don't make a mess with this mascara. It's not a super duper wet formula. It's in the middle. It really does grip to the lashes pretty well. It's also very pigmented. It is very volumizing. I think that it thickens my lashes. I think it does a really good job. However, it does get a bit of flakiness. You know, if you're touching it or, you know, if you're like lying down or something like that, it will get a little bit of flakiness to this mascara where a lot of my mascaras do not do that. So this one I noticed does that. Otherwise, it's really good. I would say this is definitely one of the favorite volumizing mascaras that I tried this year. My favorite volumizing mascara that didn't launch this year that I found was from Morphe. I got this in the Ulta sale. So a ton of stuff was for sale on Ulta and I hit that sale, you guys, and I got a bunch of stuff. And I'll put all of the rest of it that I didn't get to try in my everyday makeup drawer, like testing new makeup videos. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, that's gonna go up very soon. Maybe even before this video, I don't know. But this is called the Make It Big mascara in bold black. Now let's first talk about this packaging. It's like aluminum, so it's not like plastic. The top is plastic, but the bottom feels like aluminum. It's a little weighty. It again has a faux hair bristled wand, but it's hourglass shaped and the faux hairs are very small. It is super pigmented. It is super volumizing, thickening, lengthening. It doesn't smudge, doesn't transfer. It gives me thick lashes. It gives me length. It gives me volume. This is badass. It requires one coat, literally. One of the fastest volumizing, lengthening mascaras. This is so good. I didn't even know this existed. This was one of the things that was on sale. It's the reason I got it. This next one and last one for the mascaras is from Revolution. This is also badass. This I think came free with that order. Whatever I ordered. I think I ordered like a blush from Revolution or something and then they threw this in for free. It's called the Wrap Lash. It's the Mega Extension and Volume Tubing Mascara. Where was this thing hiding? It is the perfect kind of wand, molded plastic bristles, very, very short. You can get very close to the lash line. It is intensely pigmented, super volumizing and super lengthening at the same time. No transfer, no smudge. This is a badass little thing. And probably my favorite thing that I've ever tried from Makeup Revolution. Honestly, it just separates the lashes so nicely. Like this is such a badass little tube. Yeah, definitely my favorite thing I've ever tried from Revolution. I am such a harsh critic about mascaras. I have like 3 or 4 that are probably my favorite and I try a lot, but you know, then they go away. They don't typically get repurchased. These two, even over the YSL and the Kosas that I still think are really good, these two are better and I will be repurchasing them. I can like almost guarantee it. This Morphe one, I was like, where is it? Where is it? Because I have it in my bin to do my speed reviews. And when I get a mascara that I truly love and then I can't find it, or I don't get to keep testing it because I've already done tested it, I start aching for the mascara, then you know it's good. All right, you guys, let's move on into foundation. I tried 2 new releases. Well, one that's newish and then one that's definitely new. And then 2, one is a repurchase and one is an older one that I just wanted to try for myself. So let's do this. Let's go over the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This is the reformulation she just launched. It's awful. Have you guys ever heard me talk about the original? How it was one of my holy grails? It's one of my favorite foundations. The only thing is with these is they tend to oxidize. So I had to get rid of mine pretty recently because it was just turning so yellow. All of my Charlotte Tilbury foundation or complexion products have oxidized. Concealer, you name it. Every complexion product has done that to me. Now, the other one was like a whipped texture, but it was kind of like a natural matte finish. I liked it. It wasn't too harsh. It stayed all day. This is dry as the hills. It's so dry, it barely blends in. It's chalky, it's gross. It's definitely full coverage, but even on my swatch, just blending it in, it's thick. It's like a clay, it's like a paste. No, why? Sometimes you just shouldn't ever reformulate things. This is one of those times. It was awful for me. And then this is the semi-new one. This is the Forever Hydra Nude from Dior, and this one's in the shade 1.5N. I apologize, the one from Charlotte is in Too Cool, which is actually a really good shade, but like even maybe a little bit too light for me. The Forever Nude from Dior in 1.5 is one that I've done 1.5 in like forever. I think they have lightened these shades though. 1.5 I remember being a little bit darker than it is now. Now, I picked this up even though I am more of a natural matte, soft matte kind of girly, because I fall in love with Dior based products. Again, even with the concealers, some of them have been my holy grails. It's just the way it's been. So I thought I would like this. It's just sheer. It's very sheer. And even though it's like glossy, I like a little bit more coverage. And I don't think that it sits very well on the skin because it's so hydrating. I think that it separates when my oils start coming through and it just looks kind of doo-doo. It's supposed to be 24-hour natural perfection, 48-hour hydration enriched with hyaluronic acid. It maybe just is too dewy for me personally and my skin type. I don't think that it's bad if you like a barely there. I think that if you had dry skin, you would absolutely love this. Me, combo skin, no. Again, when I start getting oily or sweaty, this just looks absolutely terrible on me. And then it's not even there in most parts, you know, it fades very quickly because it is very, very sheer. If you had dry skin, I think you would absolutely love this. It's highly, highly, highly fragranced though. That does bother me. All right, the repurchase for me is the L'Oreal True Match Nude. This is the tinted serum. When I first had this, I loved it, but I had very dry skin. My skin has changed in like the last 5 years, totally. So when I had dry skin, this actually came out like more matte on me. It was a little bit drier on me. It was more full coverage. And so I recommended it to an oily skinned coworker. And then she was like, you know, it's not so matte. It's not so natural finished as you say. So I repurchased it because my skin now is combo. So I thought this is going to be such a better foundation for me. But I didn't even realize how kind of dewy this foundation is. And I didn't realize there was pearls in it. Never noticed that in the bottle. Now I notice it's more like a tinted serum for somebody who has combo skin. I like this one. This one and the next one are my two favorite. The other two, they don't jive. The Charlotte's gross and the Dior just doesn't work for me. But this one, yeah, it's more glossy, it's more dewy. It has a little bit of a shine to it. You know, the packaging doesn't work at all. The dropper doesn't work for one bit. So what I do with the dropper is I just like swipe it to my face to apply it. But then when you push the product back in, it's so thick of a hydrating serum that it kind of sticks to the rim of this, and then you're just pushing it like over the top of the bottle. So it's making kind of a mess. I like it. I don't think it's what I thought it was, so it's not going to become like a holy grail of the kind of foundations that I enjoy these days, which is more soft matte. Now I've been trying a bunch from Kimchi Beauty. This is a really good foundation is what it's called, from Kimchi Chic. And I don't know if I told you the L'Oreal one, what shade that was in. I probably didn't, but it's a really good shade. 0.5 to 2, very light pale. This one from Kimchi Chic is in 106L. You know, this foundation's okay. It's pretty good. You know, when I think of a drag queen who makes makeup, all I think is that it's going to be like super duper matte. And so that's what I set my expectations to when I buy products that are made from drag queens who make makeup. This just is kind of like in the middle. It's not too dry, it's not too matte, it's a little bit of a natural finish. It's not extra long wearing, in my personal opinion. It's just an okay foundation. Like, I enjoy both of these, but neither of these are like the perfect formulation for my skin type. A really good foundation is kind of middle of the road, so I feel like a lot of people could probably get along with it, whereas I feel like the True Match Nude, somebody with normal skin would probably like this best, honestly. And maybe even this one, really. You know, I think it again is just kind of a middle of the road. Nothing with that foundation stood out to me terribly. So in that sense, it's probably one of those foundations that may end up getting ignored and then decluttered down the road. Whereas like the Charlotte, I can't even keep this. That's definitely gonna go into my worst of beauty for 25. All right, let's talk about two concealers. I think the Versed isn't new. This is the Skin Solution Serum Concealer, and this is in the shade 2N. But I have just been trying serum concealers a lot lately. I wanna get the Rabanne one too. I've been trying quite a few lately, so I think I need to slow the heck down. But this is my first Versed product too. So a lot to unpack, whether I like the formulation, whether I like the brand. It's a giant doe foot applicator, which isn't necessarily my favorite, but this is really nice. It's very lightweight, and that is really what I'm looking for. And even when things say that they're serum, sometimes they're too radiant and they're too thick. I really want serum to mean that it's a super lightweight formula that still offers me light to medium coverage. So this does that. It's a really, really good concealer. The finish on it is more of a natural finish, which I wish it was just a little bit more radiant and that's something I could set with powder. Because if you give me a matte concealer or a natural concealer or a soft matte or something like that, I'm always gonna set it with powder. So I actually prefer something that's a little bit more radiant on the finish that sets really well with powder. That's kind of my preferred preference. So this is maybe a little bit too natural, so I have to go in with a light under eye powder on top of it. Otherwise, this is damn good. Damn good. This and the next one, two of my favorite things from today's speed reviews. The mascaras and the concealers. Honestly, those were definitely some of my favorite. The next one I think is a new release from Live Tinted. This is also their Hue Skin Serum Concealer in the shade 20, I'm pretty sure. This is fabulosity. I also love these kind of applicators that are flat and thin and they kind of hold like the right amount of product and they're easy to apply. This one is very lightweight with that light to medium buildable coverage that is also radiant on the finish. This is so, so good. And it's even more lightweight and easier to like move around and blend in than the Versed. The Versed is a little bit thicker. This is very, very thin, but I still think that it gives like the same amount of coverage and lasts the same amount of time. So this was my favorite concealer. I absolutely love this. Hooked, hooked, hooked. Okay, here's a setting spray. This is from Ofra. It's the Makeup Fixer, a light refreshing mist that keeps makeup in place all day long. You know, I got this in an advent calendar and kind of thought maybe this was gonna be like the MAC Fix Plus because it's like a makeup fixer. It's awful. It leaves me greasy and gross and I don't think it sets me down at all. None. It's a nice mister. Yes. It mists very well. The rest of it is awful and it has a very strong scent, which I don't really like floral scents in anything that I spray on my face. That quite genuinely just smelled like a body spray. It is so strong, it should not be in a fixing mist. So this is trash. I'll be moving this along. I only have one bronzer, one, and I didn't buy it. I got it in an advent calendar as well. By the way, a lot of this stuff, the good stuff anyway, that I got in the advent calendar was from the Ipsy advent calendar. That's where this came from. Really enjoyed that calendar, by the way. These are the Deep Bronzing Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops from Drunk Elephant. Just in the one shade, I'm pretty sure. They don't come in anything else. These are good. These are fine. You know, they're bronzy. The one thing that I've been noticing about bronzing drops recently is that there's a distinction between like bronzing drops that are like serum and then actual bronzing serum type formulations. I would say this is more like on the bronzing serum type formulation. I don't really think these are like drops, like very liquidy. So I like them because the bronzing type drops I think of more to mix in with a foundation. Something like this I think is way better that you use as like an actual bronzer. A very glowy bronzer on top of the foundation. I think this is good for that. It's nice and it doesn't disturb any of the foundation. That's what I've been looking for. A lot of these, they tend to either be too thick or sticky or something along those lines. I've just been using a lot of bronzing drops and serums lately that they disturb some of the foundation. These do not. These are really good. I have tried comparable formulas. Obviously there's a bunch of dupes out there and the dupes are just as good as these. The MCO Beauty one, W7 has one as well. They're just as good as these. This is $39. So I would recommend those other two over these for what you get. I'm not a huge like bronzing drop needer in my life. Like these are good, but these are not something that I personally reach for all of the time. I do like a bronzy look occasionally, but there are cheaper formulas than $39. I don't hate it, but I'd say go get the dupes first. Oh my gosh, you guys. The blush is gonna take up so much time for us. So much. And this is definitely a mix of new and new to me makeup. The Flight 7.0, they had this on Ipsy, so I got this by itself. It's the Hazy Cheek Cream Blush in the shade Tenderness. This is fabulous. This is perfect. This is a perfect cream blush. It's just a step above a balm. It has a really nice glossy finish. It's perfect opacity. It's not too sheer. It's not too heavy. It's a buildable formula and it looks gorgeous on the cheeks. It's very even. So this is a nice just step above balm cream cheek blush formula. I absolutely love this. Honestly, it's like kind of one of my favorite blushes of today's try on. It reminds me a lot of the Sigma cream blushes. It's just not as intensely pigmented, just like a step below the Sigma. The Sigma can be pretty intense if you go in with a pretty dense brush. This one is much more forgiving. It's just a very, very beautiful, non-problematic formula. So highly recommend. Then I got myself the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Liquid Blush on Ipsy, and the only shade that they had was this fuchsia, Fuego Fuchsia color. This is just too fuchsia for me. It's a very big doe foot applicator, but I'm always putting these on the back of my hand to apply it anyway. Ultra pigmented, ultra pigmented, very bright color. It's a very, very matte dry down. So it's not a favorite formula of mine, even if it wasn't a shade that I would like. It's too pigmented. I'm definitely going for things that are more buildable. I tap hardly any when I'm putting this on my cheeks and it's pretty, but I'm using like 2 taps from my middle finger and then putting it on my cheek, and that's basically all I can handle. So this is kind of one of those intensely pigmented, intensely opaque, very dry down, matte, stay all day kind of formulas that I'm just not reaching for right now. All right, the next are new releases. They're from NYX. You know, I've had these since they came out. It took me so long to review these. These were like one of the first things that I ended up putting in the bin. The Fat Cheeks Juicy Plump Blush, and I have Fig Fizz, which is the more nude shade, and then Blueberry Burst, which is in purple packaging. These are fun. These are actually very fun. Surprisingly, Blueberry Burst is the only one that's a staining formula. The other one doesn't stain me at all. These are very juicy, but honestly, you can build them up to be more than sheer, but they are like a popsicle stain. The purple one has issues though. Like it leaks out every time I pull the doe foot applicator out. It's so much more sheer than the other shade that I have to build it up like a lot on the cheeks to get the color to show. And I spilled this. Like it's a very, very liquidy formula. I accidentally knocked it over on the table, like the component itself, and it poured out. So it's like water basically. The other one doesn't do that. It's just not as liquidy. Nothing comes out when I pull the doe foot out. I don't know. They're not made the same is pretty much what I'm kind of getting at. And the Fig Fizz one is soft rose. You know, it's more pigmented, a lot easier, a lot more opaque. So it shows up a lot better and with less product. The Blueberry Burst is called Cool Purple. So that is the reason that I did pick it up, because I wanted, and I have been going after cool purples recently. I think these are fun. And part of the reason I think that these are fun is that they don't disturb the foundation underneath. And that's such a big deal for something that's like super liquidy like this, super juicy, that if they're so emollient, sometimes they just move the foundation, and I'm not into that. These actually don't. So that is nice. I do like them. Right, this is semi-new. This is from Kiko Milano. This is the Dreamphoria Heavenly Skin Blush in 02 Cosmic Coral. This is delicious. This reminds me of the new Rare Beauty cream blushes that are in these compacts. It's a cream to powder formula. It is perfectly evenly opaque, and also it dries down to like a powder finish and it just looks immensely smooth on the cheeks. Like 100% unproblematic formula. I love how silky smooth this looks. I love how silky smooth it feels. It's just a damn good blush. When Kiko does a good blush, or anything really, they do a really good job. It is highly, highly fragranced though, which is so funny because I've never smelled a Kiko Milano like formulation smell like straight up perfume. So that's the one downside to this. Otherwise, it is beautiful. This one from Sigma is a new shade because I've reviewed these before, the cream blushes. This one's in Coral Dawn. I wanted something cooler toned. You know, the most popular shade in whatever it is, I can't remember right now. It's very, very warm toned for Sigma. These are really nice. Again, kind of a step above balm, but maybe 2 steps above balm in this particular formula. Coral Dawn is very bright. It's more on the cool side than their most popular shade. Gosh, I can't remember what it is, but I also have that blush in my collection. So this is an addition to what I already have. This is just very pigmented if you use a dense brush. It's also a gorgeously easy formula to use. Like the way it applies so evenly makes blushes like this very unproblematic, doesn't disturb anything, has good lasting power, and is not sticky on the cheeks. It's just very good. It's the reason I got 2. I really enjoy the Sigma cream blush formula. More new releases. These are from Moira. I got 3 shades of the Marvelous Baked blushes. I got Cinnamon Roll, which is the brownie shade, Wedding Cake, which is pink, and Peach Cobbler, which is the peach shade. I have mentioned that I got some duds from Moira this year, and these kind of fall into that category. All of the blush that I've been picking up from Moira has been very baseless, very sparkly, and that's it pretty much. They just don't have a very strong color underneath. The most pigmented or based product is probably Peach Cobbler. The other 2, they're very shimmery. They're not sparkly, but they're shimmery. They just have a very radiantness to them. They're like metallic. They do emphasize texture. I think it's okay in certain cases if they have a good base to them, but these don't. These 2, Cinnamon Roll and then Wedding Cake. I don't know if I'm going to hold on to these or if I'm going to try them as highlighters. The only one that I may hold on to is Peach Cobbler because for whatever reason, you get the most base out of this. Could it be that there's like less marbleization? No, I don't think so. And I knew that based on when I swatched these, when I put them in my Testing New Makeup, that this one had the strongest base to it. I think I'm remembering it correctly and it's not Cinnamon Roll. I think Cinnamon Roll is very like silver looking. Yeah, but Peach Cobbler, probably the most payoff, and so the most reason to keep it. I don't know what they were thinking with all of the blush that I have been buying from them lately. It's just like they're mostly highlighter. So I don't know. I don't understand. I don't think you need to get these. I think I'm holding on to 1 to make them work, and then the other 2 I might try as highlighters. That's just not enough of a reason to even spend $8 in my personal opinion. All right, another new release from CL, the Flush and Protect SPF 45 blush. This is in the shade Shy. Love it. Love it. It's a super simple matte formula. It's powder. It's easy to blend. It's not patchy. It's got an SPF 45 and it smells like sunscreen. It actually is a really delicious smell to me. I love the way sunscreen smells when it's that like coconutty smell. Shy is a kind of warm, rosy, dusky rose shade, if you will. Very easy, unproblematic formula. So if you want an SPF 45 blush, I think go for it. The places that I focus on the most when I sunscreen every morning, obviously my nose and my cheeks. Not even always my forehead the most, but like my nose and my cheeks, the things that stick out the most. So I do love that CL is coming out with SPF products. So I'm a fan of this, huge fan of that actually. All right, new release from Persona. This is a shade extension in the shade Ballet to their blush multi-sticks. I liked the shade online, but it's very, very pink. I thought it was gonna be, I don't know, like a deeper shade and not as pink. I thought when I got it, maybe it would come out a little bit more lilac. I think I like it when it's like sheared out a little bit more, but I think it's just a little bit bright and intense for me personally. Same great formula. It gives kind of a glossy finish, you know, it's not like a fully cream to powder formula. It's very easy to blend in. This one in this shade is under their new packaging, which by the way is awful. These don't click very well, and I feel like if I used this a ton, it would just stop shutting, you know? I mean, it's working now. It just does not feel as secure as their old packaging, I will say. It's prettier to look at. I just don't think it's as sturdy, which I bet you they'll address at some point. So Ballet, nice formula. It's just a little bright pink for me. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. To be honest, I think it looked a little bit different online than it did when I got it. It was a lot brighter when I got it here. Okay, another new release from NARS. This is another reformulation of the Multiple. This one is in Orgasm Crave. I do not like this. Sam I am. I do not like this. Here or there, I do not like this anywhere. So the Multiple, I don't think they reformulated that much from the original because I didn't like it. It was very sheer and it separated things and it was like glittery. It just didn't have a very strong base. This is kind of more of a whipped texture, but it feels like silicone or silica. So did the other one, which makes it kind of sheer. But this one being a little bit more whipped packs a bigger punch in terms of like pigment itself. There's a lot of problems with this. I think it disturbs the foundation. I think that it kind of melts when I beat it with a brush. Like it just starts to decompress or compress or I don't know, something. I don't like this. I don't like the way it disturbs the foundation. I don't like how silicone based this feels on the cheeks. It doesn't last very long. I do not care for this. The reformulation and the formulation, no good. No, not for me. All right, this I got from Ipsy. It's from Kevin Aqua. This is the Color Stick Blush. This is for cheeks and lips, and it's in the shade Awaken. Oh, this is fabulous. It feels like a cream to powder formula because it's very easy to work with and it does dry down and it stays, but it's not flat matte. I really enjoy how easy it is to apply. I enjoy this packaging. Also, it's like a magnetic closure. It's just sturdy. It feels weighted. The Kevin Aqua products, I'm telling you, they are truly very, very good quality products in my personal opinion. Made in Italy, again, just an unproblematic formula, one that you can just pick up and go. Awaken is a little bit deep of a warm toned orangey peach. So I don't know, I kind of wish I didn't get the shade, but you know when you buy things on Ipsy, you don't always get like a huge choice. You don't get a large variety, so it's not bad and I don't regret it. I think it is a buildable formula. Kiko Milano, so this is a new release. The Lumiverse Glow Melt Blush from the Lumiverse collection in 01. And I want to say there were 2 shades total. This one is a very, very like poppy orange color. It is a very melty blush formulation, but it's also very glowy. So their name, the Glow Melt Blush, is like absolutely perfect for this. This one is very pigmented. Like over the Kevin Aqua, which you can build up and you can sheer out. This is not super sheerable. It's very pigmented. It's also a very bright shade, so that's kind of its vibe, like overall. It's just super duper glowy, but it does not disturb the foundation when you put it on. So this was probably one of my favorite products from that whole collection. I bought a handful of stuff, but I did not enjoy it and reviewed a lot of it in last speed reviews. This was one of my favorite things from the whole collection. All right, last blush and a new release. This is from Dior. You know, I was looking for this for a while and didn't know that they were only selling this on their website. Like, is that true? Was I under a rock? I don't know. It's the Forever Blush Soft Filter, and this one is in the shade 02 Peony. I don't know if this is peony necessarily. I don't know. It comes out a little browny and a little terracotta on me, maybe even a little bit warm. It's a whipped ass blush. It might be a cream, but it is cream to powder. Oh, that's what it's called. Whipped liquid blush, blurring matte buildable color. That's it. It just described it in the thing right there for me, right there. You know, it's funny because it looks absolutely awful in this doe foot, but it actually is like one of the easiest, most beautiful things to put on your cheeks. Dior knows how to do a damn blush, I'm telling you. All of their formulations recently have been so good. The highlighter doesn't disturb anything, super beautiful, lasts long, like, you know, in this packaging. This is a banger. This is another banger. I'm so happy. Dior, keep doing it. Yes. All right, guys, let's move on to highlighters and then lip products. So this I got on Ipsy, but I wanted to try it, so I was like, yes! It's the Beauty Bible highlighter in the shade Bible. It's like a putty texture. It doesn't pick up a lot. It's not like very powdery, but it is super duper, where is it on my cheeks? It is super duper closely sitting to the skin. There's no glitter. It's metallic, but damn, it's smooth. No texture whatsoever. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous formula. I can't tell you what the shade is. It's like a champagne-y peach. It's kind of what this looks like a little bit. Like it's so like versatile looking. This is a damn good highlighter. Probably one of my favorites in my entire collection. I love that thing. This is also a fairly new release, sort of kind of, you know, in the last 6 months. The Glassy Opal is the shade, the Bio Radiant Glassy Highlighter Balm from House Labs. I swatched this in store because I didn't want it when it first launched. I was like, no, no, no. I don't usually do glossy balm highlighter sticks because they don't stay and then they're too sticky. But this one is not that. It's glossy, glassy, but oh my gosh, it dries down. It is so good. It is so, so good. It's my favorite stick highlighter ever. I'm a critic. I hate cream stick highlighters. I have come to realize I end up decluttering every single one that I buy. If it's not a liquid or it's not a powder, I don't like them. This is the only one that I've ever been like, damn, that's good. And the shade is so delicious. Oh, this is so, so freaking pretty. You can draw it on too. It does not disturb anything underneath. I draw it and then tap it out with my finger. Sometimes they're too glossy that they'll lift things, and then sometimes they're too dry you can't move them. This is not either of those things. So delicious. Oh my god, I have so many lip products. So many. I'll say like half of these are probably new and half of them aren't. So aren't the Beauty Creations Plump and Pout Plumping Gloss Stick in Love Trap. I also got this on Ipsy. It's supposed to be high shine, semi-sticky tints and hydrates. The thing is they don't put on here that it burns the shit out of you. This should also be on this description. It's like those clicky pens that Tarte came out with. It's a really good formula, very high shine. It is not too thick at all. The problem is it hurts. It's the burning kind. So like after about 20 seconds, this burns me so bad I had to take it off. It is plumping, it's just not for me. I love everything else about this. How high shine, how smooth and delicious and opaque this is. I can't handle the burning. All right, who knows about my obsession with these Fenty sticks? This one is, oh my gosh, the Gloss Balm Stick. This one is the MVP. So you know, I've got 2 of the Gloss Balm sticks that are not in the shimmer finish. I have pretty much all the shimmer finish ones, but who knows how much I love a shiny ass red. I do, I can't help it. I'm such a shiny ass red kind of girl. So I saw this in store, swatched it, and I was like, oh, this is coming. This is definitely coming. This is like a cherry red. It's not too orange. It's not too blue red. It's like this perfect cherry red. High shine, glossy, delicious. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's a great red to add to my collection because if it's a red, I want it to be high shine. That's pretty much how I feel. All right, I got this little guy in the advent calendar from Ipsy as well. It's the Maracuja Juicy Lip Vinyl from Tarte in Shimmering Daisy. I have had every single formulation of these juicy sticks from Tarte. The lip vinyls are the crumbliest, goopiest, stickiest ones of them all. But who also knows about my obsession with shimmery lips? So I pretty much love it all. I will try it all. So Shimmering Daisy is really pretty. It's just extra goopy, so you can't go in too thick. I think I actually might keep this one. The other lip vinyl I ended up decluttering because it was not my favorite and I held on to all the other formulations, but I like a shimmery lip, and I think that this little Shimmery Daisy is like a very nice nudie peach shade. Not offensive at all. All right, another new release from Revlon, the Super Lustrous Shine Balms, I think is what they're called. This one is in the shade Glossed Up Rose. You know, if I was going to tell you to sink your money into something of all the lip products today, like this is where I would tell you to sink your money. It's hydrating, it's shiny, I feel like it smells like a YSL dupe. It feels like a YSL dupe. I like the shade. I think it's buildable, like all the good stuff. A very nice, very buildable drugstore balm formula. I'm down with this. I'm down with this all day long. This is a new release from Dior. These are called the Rouge Dior On Stage something. And this is in 226, a Daring Blush Shine. What I'm going with. You know, it's like a teardrop shape. They had to throw this floral scent in this though. That I cannot stand. These are supposed to be like a glossy lipstick essentially that are nice and opaque, and they are, but I tried to get like a neutral shade. I went in store and swatched a lot of these. I wish they would come out with like more pink shades than what this shade looks like. Or I wish I would have gotten like a shiny red, because that would have been really nice. And honestly, their advertising does that. Their advertising is like a shiny red on Jenna Ortega, and I would have liked to have gotten like a shade like that. I decided not to because I have so many shiny reds that I've been buying lately. It's pretty, but I don't think it's worth the damn money. It's a shiny lipstick is essentially what this is. That's extra floral. Do I regret it? No. But like, can you get it elsewhere? Do I already have it? Yes. All right, these are also new releases from Bella Beauté Bar, which by the way, I do have a discount code. It's in my description box. These are called something. I have no idea. These are like her new metallic lipsticks. The pink one is in Portal, and the darker like burgundy gold is in Nightshade. These are metallic sparkly lips, and I occasionally like that, but I also like sparkly lip. These are not created equal. The Nightshade is super duper sparkly, but the first one that I put on, you know, it's almost like it's a multi-chrome. Like it doesn't have a lot of sparkles like inside the bullet itself the way Nightshade does. It just kind of flips like a pink to purple. Although you can feel that it's gritty, it just doesn't have a ton of sparkly payoff. It's interesting. You know, it's a thicker formula. A lot of these multi-chrome lips are, and so they do emphasize a little bit of texture. As far as like products that I have that are very similar. These probably emphasize less texture than others, but the more unique shade is definitely Nightshade. It's that deep red, almost like black based lip with like this really intense sparkle. And it is gritty as can be, but I think that it's unique enough that it is something that I would want to keep because it just offers something different. It really is that sparkly metallic lip. I think Bella Beauty Bar does a good job with the lip products. This is the second type of lipstick or lip products that I've had from Bella Beauty Bar, and I think that's really good. All right, not a new release, but I did pick this up for myself recently at Ulta. It's from Pat McGrath. It's one of the Lush glosses in Bronze Divinity. I think there were 3 that were available for a sale, but this one was just kind of like the most pretty, most neutral. You know, it's kind of like a pinky base with like gold sparkles. I was feeling nostalgic because once upon a time I had a holiday set that was one of the mini Opulus glosses, and they have been some of my favorite sparkly glosses in my collection since I bought them. They're very thin, they feel like lip oils, but they were super sparkly with no grit. You could wear them on their own because they had a real intense opacity. They just had a really good base to them. The sparkle was obvious, but they were very comfortable. You know, this is not that, okay? This is just the Lush lip gloss. So not exactly the same as the mini Opulus glosses. This is thick. It is stickier. The base on this isn't as strong. You know, these aren't gritty. That's the thing. Like, these are very, very smooth, and like the sparkle in them is so, so fine. So I think Pat McGrath is worth it if you want to do like a shiny gloss. I just don't think this particular shade offers very much. It's a pretty neutral topper is what I think, just in a very, very light layer. I don't regret getting it. It's just that it's not like the other ones, you know, it doesn't feel like a straight up lip oil. That is a little bit of a goopier texture. All right, I picked up another shade in this, you guys. This is one of my favorite lip products in my entire collection, the Lip IV Hydrating Gloss Serum from NYX. Very, very similar to what K-Beauty does very often. This is the Ready Set Wet shade. I have another shade that's on the pink side. It's so good. They're like the Milani hydrating lip stains, but these are better. These are a thinner formula because they're like a serum. They stain in a different way. They don't like dry down as like a lip product. They actually dry down as like a stain. They're very, very staining. Very, very shiny, very opaque. This is a beautiful, glossy, delicious red. When these launched, these were my favorite lip products of the year. I think it was last year. And the Revolution was also one of my favorites. The Milani stain was also one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite lip stains ever, 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 ever. If you guys have not tried that, like, I feel like you should. I almost feel like I've heard some negative reviews on those, and I don't get it. Not even a little bit. All right, this is a fairly new release too. Oh gosh. This is the Starshine lip gloss from Moira Beauty. This is where the fail with Moira just keeps happening. This is in So Sparkle. It's a sparkly lip gloss. It feels like a lip oil. There's no stickiness to it. It's a decent gloss. It's not really gritty at all, and it's very sparkly. It just doesn't have a strong base, and it came to me smelling old. I bought it brand new off of their website, so it stinks. Oh, it smells disgusting already. I was trying to use it for a while. It's pretty, but I don't know how else to review something when it comes stinky like this. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, it's such a good formula. You should go and get it and hope it's not old. So I'm just gonna leave that there. You guys can decide. All right, another new release from Truly, the Glazed Donut Luxury Lip Oil with peptide and ceramide softening boosters. Look at this little thing. So cute. You know, Truly is not super, well, this wasn't super expensive. I don't know how Truly is normally, but it was kind of cute packaging. But when you say glazed donut, I'm going for it. This is awful. It doesn't smell like anything. And honestly, this doe foot applicator is so small. It doesn't pick up any product. I mean, if it smells like anything, it's like the slightest smell. It offers virtually nothing to the lips. It feels hydrating, but that's pretty much it. You don't get any real color. You don't get any real smell. Again, wasn't super expensive, and it was a new release, and it called itself Glazed Donut, so that's why it came in so hard, but I feel like you need to just leave this hard. This is not a good formulation for me. I was so underwhelmed every time I was using it. All right, this I did get in Advent Calendar 2, and this is the second shade I've tried from RMS Beauty. It's the Lip to Cheek, and this one is in Beloved. 040N. Oh my gosh, these are so good on the lips. You know, the other one was a bright pink shade and I ended up trying it for my cheeks because it wasn't a lip color I would go for, but a shiny red in the lip to cheek. And because this is a very small mini, they're bigger. They're usually in a bigger component than this. I was like, yes, we're definitely gonna try this on the lips. It's really pretty on the lips. Very sticky on the cheeks, but on the lips, it's not sticky at all. I just think these are made more for the lips, to be honest with you. And it's the glossy red that I really like. And it's a slightly staining formula. So really good, really enjoyed that. Final product and final new release of today, you guys. This is from Dior, almost dropped it. I picked this up from their website. It's one of the Rouge Dior Sequent Liquid Duos. So now we got a sequent in a liquid version. I love the sequence from Dior. I have one, I guess, of like the lip products, but this is a liquid lip with a gloss on one side. So it's okay. Some luxury brands will do it like this. I think it's good. I think it really is good. I really like the sequence, so I'm a sucker for when you press your lips together and all of a sudden you start seeing sparkles. You know, I would say as far as like luxury brands that do duos like this, the Chanel one is better. It is just like a better liquid on the other side. Like it's a shinier clear. This is like a moussier liquid where the Chanel really dries down so that product lasts you all day. It's not a sequent, which is really the catch with something like this, but I just, as far as like the formulation goes, I think it's better. By the way, this one's in the shade 881. It's pretty. You know, it's like a deep maroon shade. I like it. It's not as long lasting as the Chanel, but I'm a sucker for the sequin. So there you go. Anyway, you guys, that was it. That was all. What did we have? 46 like individual type products. You know, obviously it was more because I had like 6 shades in the Moira, etc. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. You know what I say. If you guys are not currently subscribed, I would love to see you subscribe. I'm out of here and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye guys.